Well done, lad.
Look at me. Look at me.
That was a heavy knockout. I'll give you that respect. But you will never knock me out.
I'm going to submit you.
Knock me out.
You little pussy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my balls in your
You can't knock me out.
Pussy.
You know I don't get knocked out.
You get knocked out.
I finish you.
Even before the fight.
I finish you, little
Get
man.
that fuck your ass from here.
I finish
Get
you.
Paddy the Baddy Pimblett and Sean Strickland have both sent absolutely massive bombshell messages directed at UFC lightweight champion Ilia Topuria. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss what they said. From callouts to contract challenges and even some harsh truths about fighter pay. This story has it all. Let's get into it.
That's the fight that I want. With Charles, I had a little bit difficult situation because I really like the guy. But with Paddy, I'm really gonna enjoy kicking his ass.
Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Now, if you've been following this feud, you know these two have been going back and forth since 2022. But Paddy just took things to a whole new level. In a recent statement, Pimblett absolutely let loose on the lightweight champion, saying, and I quote, "I'll smash Ilia Topuria's face in." But he didn't stop there. The Baddy doubled down with the legendary Mike Tyson reference, "Sign the contract, big boy."
Absolutely smash his face in for him. I can see me beating him anywhere the fight goes, to be honest. People have put him on a pedestal now. They think he's this big, amazing thing when I'll bring him crashing back down to earth in a big way.
Now, according to Paddy's own words, he's been waiting for this fight for years. He says Topuria has done nothing but talk trash about him, claiming he's not good enough, claiming he doesn't deserve a title shot. But here's where it gets interesting. After Topuria's last fight against Charles Oliveira, Paddy got in the cage and Ilia pushed him. Everyone thought the fight was happening. The rivalry was about to be settled. And you know what? He's got a point. If Topuria really believes Pimblett isn't on his level, why not take the fight and prove it? This is where the mind games start getting really interesting.
Something happened with you and Paddy, or
yeah,
something happened with you guys, right?
Yeah.
What was that all about? I saw the video.
He said some stupid shit about Georgia, about my country. He said something like, "Now I understand why Russia is throwing bombs to Georgia." And like, bro, you never live in a situation where your country had a war. I lived there in 2008. Don't joke with that. He said that on Twitter.
And then you went and you guys were at the same event and you ran into each other?
I saw him and I went after him like, boom.
And it wasn't promotional.
According to reports, Pimblett's team has confirmed they've been given a possible date for his return, and they're working on a game plan specifically for Ilia Topuria. His coaches Ellis Hampson and Paul Rimmer both stated that Paddy is in peak condition, training hard, and just waiting for that confirmation.
I've said this before in several interviews. People just think he'd steamroll me, you know what I mean? But it's different when there's that much size difference. Lad, he's a midget. So I said to them, "I will finish you, little boy." He's like that much shorter than me. I'm so much wider than him.
Yeah.
Like, and that plays a part. That's why people cut weights. That's why you get to a certain weight division.
Yeah.
That 10, 15 pounds makes a big difference. And as I said, I'd just kick up Topuria around the cage. I can't wait to shock a lot of people.
Now, for those who might not know the full backstory here, let me catch you up real quick because this rivalry runs deep. This whole thing started back in 2022 when Topuria confronted Pimblett in a London hotel. The confrontation happened after Ilia accused Paddy of posting anti-Georgian tweets. From that moment on, these two have been at each other's throats.
Take that shirt.
Well, I think I'm scared of you.
Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch.
What, lad? I'm still here. You little maggot.
Meanwhile, Pimblett has been building his own resume. He's unbeaten in the UFC, and his last performance was absolutely dominant. A third-round TKO over former three-time Bellator champion Michael Chandler. That's not a small name. That's not a gimme fight. Paddy proved he belongs in these conversations. But wait, it gets even more interesting because former UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland decided to throw his 2 cents into the mix, and what he said might be even more controversial than Paddy's callout.
It's so good to be back in the show. Feel like the UFC will finish. To be back in the number one. Just
Strickland came out and made a statement about fighter pay in the UFC, specifically calling out the massive discrepancy between top earners and lower-tier fighters. According to Sean, let me just say, the UFC has the most discrepancy. When you're talking about top earning to lower earning, I think the UFC probably has the most. Now, why is Strickland bringing this up in relation to the Topuria-Pimblett situation? Well, it ties into the bigger picture of how fights get made, who gets paid what, and why certain matchups happen while others don't. Strickland is known for speaking his mind, sometimes controversially, but he's touching on something that a lot of fighters have been vocal about. The gap between what champions and main event fighters make versus what prelim fighters and undercard athletes earn is absolutely massive in the UFC. And when you have a potential mega fight like Topuria versus Pimblett on the table, a fight with real bad blood, real history, and massive fan interest from the UK and beyond, you have to wonder if negotiations are getting held up over money, or if there are other factors at play.
English, yeah?
Hey,
Speak English.
you want to talk to me like the man-to-man? You said something about me. I went to your country. I slap your face. I get at the wasting win. I walk like a king in your street.
Are you talking English?
And what
there?
you did? What you
Is that
did,
English?
Man? Yeah, of course I do.
Speak English for the people.
Shut up.
Not German or Spanish like you're from.
I'm talking in English and fuck you in English y que te follen en español.
So what has Ilia Topuria said about all this? Well, according to reports, Topuria sent a message on Twitter, though the full details of his response are still emerging. What we do know is that Topuria has several potential options for his first lightweight title defense. There's obviously Paddy Pimblett, who's been calling for this fight the loudest. But there's also Justin Gaethje, a former interim champion at 155 pounds, who's been mentioned as a potential opponent. Then you have the situation with Islam Makhachev, who just won at UFC 322. There's been talk about a potential super fight between the two champions, which could completely change the landscape. So where do we go from here? Well, according to Pimblett's team, they're waiting for confirmation on a date. They've been told there's a possible date in the works, potentially for early 2026. Paddy is keeping his weight down, working on strength and conditioning, and specifically preparing for Ilia Topuria. From a stylistic perspective, this fight is absolutely fascinating. Topuria is a knockout artist with absolutely devastating power. His last 3 wins have all been knockouts: Volkanovski, Holloway, and Oliveira. That's a murderer's row of opponents, but Pimblett has a fantastic jiu-jitsu game. He's tough, he's durable, and he's been in there with top competition. In his own words about how he'd beat Topuria, "I can see me beating him anywhere the fight goes, to be honest. People have put him on a pedestal now. They think he's this big, amazing thing. I'll bring him crashing back down to earth in a big way." Those are fighting words, and the MMA community is absolutely dying to see if Paddy can back them up. So there you have it, fight fans. Paddy Pimblett sent a massive message to Ilia Topuria. "I'll smash your face in. Sign the contract, big boy." Sean Strickland weighing in on the UFC's fighter pay discrepancy and a whole lot of uncertainty about what happens next in the lightweight division. Will we finally see Pimblett versus Topuria in 2026? Will Ilia move up to face Islam Makhachev? Or will Justin Gaethje get the call? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this drama is far from over. What do you think? Does Paddy have a real shot against Topuria? Or is El Matador going to continue his knockout streak? Drop your predictions in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe for more UFC news and analysis, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Gliding and swimming through those shots. Getting, oh my goodness! You know, she's telling us because she needs to be. Oh, another figure in the middle again from Shields. This is where we see that the fight, but she's also in there with a singular generational talent in Claressa Shields, who is all over her right now. To look for openings, style a little bit here in round 8. There's a body shot from Shields, and another one. No knockout, but Claressa Shields plays the hits here in Motown.
The Queen of Boxing just dropped a massive bombshell that has the entire MMA world shaking. Claressa Shields, the undisputed boxing champion, has sent a direct message that puts Dakota Ditcheva's PFL throne in serious danger. And Dakota's response? Let's just say she's not backing down. This is about to get explosive. Claressa Shields about her move to MMA, Dakota Ditcheva's brutal response, and what this potential super fight could mean for the PFL. Trust me, this is the fight everyone is talking about right now. Let's dive in.
When you're back over here,
Claressa Shields just sent shockwaves through the MMA community with her latest statement. And when I say bombshell, I mean bombshell. Listen to what she said. I've done everything in boxing. I just really wanted to see what could I do in my career that can make me be more of the greatest of all time. Like, how can you solidify it? And I've done everything in boxing. So for me, I was like, you know what? What about MMA?
I've done everything in boxing. I just really wanted to see what could I do in my career that can make me be more of the GOAT, more of the greatest of all time. Like, how can you solidify it? And I've done everything in boxing. So for me, I was like, you know what? What about MMA?
Now, for those who don't know, Claressa Shields isn't just any boxer. This woman is the most accomplished female boxer in history. We're talking multiple weight world champion, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, undisputed champion. She's beaten everyone in boxing. Go. She's fought legends like Savannah Marshall and Marcella Corno and absolutely dominated them. She's cleaned out boxing, and now she's looking for new challenges in MMA. And here's the thing, she's not just talking. Claressa has already made her PFL debut and won in dominant fashion. This isn't a publicity stunt. She's serious about conquering MMA just like she conquered boxing. Now, when Claressa made this announcement, all eyes immediately turned to Dakota Ditcheva, the undefeated PFL rising star, and the woman everyone believes is the future of the division. And Dakota? She didn't hold back. Here's what she said. Right. So, 2 125ers. I mean, she's doing unbelievable things in boxing, and I would 100% if that came to me. I would definitely take that. I mean, I'm not sure who they're going to put her with. She's had a little bit of MMA experience before as well. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see what they do with that super fight.
So 125ers, I mean, she's doing unbelievable things in boxing. And I would 100%, if that come to me, I would definitely take that. I mean, I'm not sure who they're going to put her with. She's had a little bit of MMA experience before as well. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see what they do with that super fight.
Now, let me break this down for you because Dakota's response is actually more savage than it sounds. First, she acknowledges Claressa's boxing credentials, showing respect where respect is due. But then comes the key part. I would 100% take that fight. That's not fear. That's confidence. That's a champion saying, bring it on. And it didn't stop there. Dakota took to Twitter and sent her own message to Claressa. The tension is building, and fight fans are absolutely eating this up. Okay, so let's talk about what would actually happen if these two stepped into the cage together, because this is one of the most fascinating style matchups we could possibly see. On one side, you have Claressa Shields with world-class boxing that's sharper and cleaner than almost anyone Dakota has faced, lightning-fast punches with perfect timing, a jab and counter right hand that can shut down anyone's offense. If this fight stays in pure boxing range, Dakota would be in deep trouble. But here's where it gets interesting. Dakota Ditcheva brings a complete MMA striking arsenal, kicks, knees, elbows from every angle. Devastating clinch work that Claressa isn't used to, defending dangerous knees to the body and elbows to the head. Superior takedown defense and developing grappling skills. An 11-1 Muay Thai background with aggressive forward pressure. And here's the thing that could change everything. Dakota has more weapons. The moment this fight leaves boxing range and enters MMA territory with kicks, knees, clinches, and potential grappling, the entire dynamic shifts in Dakota's favor. Let's be real here. If this fight stays standing in pure boxing range, Claressa Shields has the advantage. Her boxing is simply on another level.
Yes. Oh!
But, and this is a big but, this is MMA, not boxing. And Dakota has more experience inside the cage, more tools to work with, and the ability to take this fight into territories where Claressa hasn't fully developed yet. In a full MMA fight, Dakota likely wins by late TKO or dominant decision. Why? Because she has more weapons at her disposal, better understanding of MMA range and distance superior clinch work, the ability to mix in takedowns if needed. Claressa is dangerous, absolutely, but Dakota is complete as an MMA fighter. But here's what makes this so exciting. Claressa Shields is a proven champion who has conquered every challenge put in front of her. Can she do it again in MMA? That's what makes this potential super fight so compelling. So there you have it. Fight fans, Claressa Shields has thrown down the gauntlet by entering the PFL and making it clear she wants to become the greatest of all time in combat sports. Dakota Ditcheva has responded with confidence and is ready to defend her position as the future of the division.
I'm a workhorse. I train very, very hard. And I love people. I love meeting new people no matter where I'm at. If they want a picture, they want an autograph, they want a hug, you know, I'm like, hey, what's up? But people don't really get that interpretation of me from me being a fighter. You know, it's like I'm very, very nice to a fault, though. If you're mean to me, I'll be mean to you.
Whether this fight happens next month or next year, one thing is absolutely certain. The MMA world will be watching. This is the kind of crossover super fight that could break records and create history.
Let's go.
If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more explosive MMA news, fight analysis, and drama, make sure to smash that like button. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. We're bringing you the most exciting stories and matchups from the world of combat sports every single day. The fight game is heating up, and you'll want to be here for what's coming next. Thanks for watching, fight fans. I'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned, because the next bombshell might be even bigger than this one.
Here we go! Oh, punch it to the back of the head. That's illegal. You can't punch in the back of the head. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, it's still in data. Of course he's in a fight. It's still in data. What the fuck is that true?
I didn't do anything. I got arrested. I say you want to get arrested. I didn't do anything.
UFC 322, held this past Saturday, November 15, 2025, will be remembered not just for Islam Makhachev's incredible achievement of becoming a two-division champion, but for an explosive brawl between Dillon Danis and Makhachev's team that has now resulted in one of the most severe punishments in UFC history. UFC CEO Dana White has issued a lifetime ban to controversial fighter Dillon Danis following a violent brawl at UFC 322. Dana White's message is clear. You will never see Dillon Danis at a UFC fight ever again.
Told me right before I walked out for the main card that Dillon Danis was here and he was moving around sitting in fighter seats and not sitting in his own seat that he had. He had a ticket. And they said, do you want us to throw him out of here? And I said, he has a ticket? And I said, yeah. And, you know, they told me, they said, Masvidal said he's going to fuck him up on sight. And I said, well, where's Masvidal sitting? He said, well, he's 6 or 7 rows away from Masvidal. I said, well, if the guy has a ticket, let him sit in his seat and let him do what he's doing and keep an eye on him. And as soon as it broke out, I was over on the other side and I go, I know exactly what that is. I knew it. And, yeah, you will never see Dillon Danis at a UFC fight ever again.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Let's start with what happened inside the octagon. In the main event of UFC 322, Islam Makhachev faced off against former welterweight title holder Jack Della Maddalena in what was supposed to be the story of the night, and what a performance it was. Makhachev dominated across 5 rounds, showcasing superior grappling and striking control. The Russian fighter secured takedowns at will, neutralized Della Maddalena's power shots, and earned a clear unanimous decision victory.
Go. Welterweight championship.
One of the things, right? Islam.
Not at all. You can only take so much.
Bit more pause ever since.
Oh,
that was hurting.
When he successfully defended his lightweight belt. Fight IQ at an all-time.
Right leg is so beat up that even when they're standing, he's not able to attack as much as he may want to.
I don't think he can move it correctly. That's why he's throwing a lot of kicks with it, because I don't think he can stand on it right.
He's like grimacing.
Yes. Challenges now
Yes.
at 170, and he has a chance now to create a completely new legacy.
Yeah.
On top of what he's already done, becoming the greatest lightweight of all time.
With this win, Islam Makhachev achieved something only a handful of fighters in UFC history have accomplished. He became a two-division champion. This places him in an elite category alongside legends like Daniel Cormier, Amanda Nunes, and his mentor's rival, Conor McGregor. But as we'll see, Makhachev's historic achievement would soon be overshadowed by chaos in the crowd.
Guys, Paul Melster, 22 winning streak. Jack, 18 winning streak. Charles Oliveira, 11 winning streak. Coach. 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 Coach, let's go. Let's go with your chicken. That's number 1 easy weight, lightweight division. Ironman. Coach.
Now here's where things went completely off the rails. Just moments before the main card was set to begin, a violent altercation broke out at Madison Square Garden, and at the center of it, former Bellator fighter and social media personality Dillon Danis. For those unfamiliar, Dillon Danis is a 32-year-old MMA fighter and Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner who rose to prominence as Conor McGregor's training partner. He's become better known in recent years for his controversial behavior on social media than for his fighting career.
Training partner for his next fight to make history and win 2 belts. So I'm here helping Conor and training, I'm here for him, like I have his back, as I said, and he has my back. So whenever he needs me, I'm there, and if I need him, he's there for me. So
223, but he's a big boy. The boy is an animal. When the boy switches it on, he switches it on. So.
According to multiple reports and viral footage, Danis was spotted moving around the arena, sitting in seats designated for fighters rather than his assigned seat. This brought him into close proximity with members of Islam Makhachev's team, specifically Abubakar Nurmagomedov and Magomed Zainukov, who you might know as the social media personality John Pork. And then, punches started flying. Witnesses describe absolute chaos. Chairs were displaced. Spectators scrambled for safety. Videos show Danis trading blows with multiple members of Makhachev's camp as security desperately tried to restore order. It took multiple security personnel and police officers to separate the fighters and escort Danis out of Madison Square Garden entirely. The timing couldn't have been worse. This erupted just as millions of viewers worldwide were tuning in for the main card. But why did this happen? What sparked this confrontation? Throughout Fight Week, Danis had been posting inflammatory content on social media, targeting Islam Makhachev and his team. These weren't just trash talk. They were personal attacks that seemed designed to provoke a reaction.
Remember me today, Dojo? Salam alaikum, brother. How are you? Good. Alhamdulillah. John Paul. Yo! This guy, I know he is, but it's like, oh, fight. You're not all right? Are you okay?
This isn't just about not being able to buy tickets to UFC events. This ban means Dillon Danis will never fight in the UFC octagon, never corner a fighter, never attend as a media or a guest. The door has been slammed shut, welded, and buried in concrete. But here's what makes this story even more remarkable. Dana White did something we rarely see from him. He took full responsibility. I blame myself for that, actually. I could have prevented this tonight, and I messed up.
I blame myself for that, actually. They came back and told me right before I walked out for the main card that Dillon Danis was here and he was moving around sitting in fighter seats and not sitting in his own seat that he had a ticket. And they said, do you want us to throw him out of here? And I said, he has a ticket? And I said, yeah. And, you know, they told me, they said, Masvidal said he's going to fuck him up on sight. And I said, well, where's Masvidal sitting? He said, well, he's 6 or 7 rows away from Masvidal. I said, well, if the guy has a ticket, let him sit in his seat and let him do what he's doing and keep an eye on him. It never even crossed my mind, as stupid as this could be, that the entire Muslim Brotherhood was here tonight in the first 5 rows for Islam. And as soon as it broke out, I was over on the other side and I go, fuck, I know exactly what that is. And I could have prevented this tonight, and I messed up.
White revealed that his security team had warned him about Danis moving around the arena. They even told him that fighter Jorge Masvidal had threatened to confront Danis on site. But White made a decision he now regrets. White explained, they said he's 6 or 7 rows away from Masvidal. I said, well, if the guy has a ticket, let him sit in his seat and let him do what he's doing and keep an eye on him.
Muslim Brotherhood was here tonight in the first 5 rows for Islam. And as soon as it broke out, I was over on the other side and I go, fuck.
But here's the critical oversight White admitted. It never even crossed my mind that the entire Muslim Brotherhood was here tonight in the first 5 rows for Islam. As soon as it broke out, I was like, I know exactly what that is.
I know exactly what that is. I knew it. And yeah. You will never see Dillon Danis at a UFC fight ever again.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's wanted badly to come in this company, and he said you guys don't want to sign him because he makes too much trouble. I guess, point made.
The UFC CEO acknowledged that he should have realized Danis's presence near Makhachev's large support group, all seated in the front rows for their teammates' championship fight, was a recipe for disaster. When asked if he wanted to press charges, White declined, saying simply, "This is the fight business, man."
We're not pressing charges. I'm not speaking for MSG or...
Your family is rich, right? Like, because you built a $2 million gym in your house. You just won the belt. How could you have that much money?
Because I do stuff as part of the UFC. I do many things.
When I first saw you, I thought you looked rich. You gotta look rich a little bit, but like now,
no.
Damn, champ. Because normally when we become champion, we get a lot of money, you know.
Yeah.
But you got money. You've been the champ for 10 years. You got John Jones money.
Everybody know what you need. Just money. That's it. Right. You don't need nothing. Just money. Everybody know why you come.
You say that I.
Yeah. How much?
You got pay-per-view money now.
I don't care about money. You
You
know,
rich
but I have rich guys. If I need money, I ask him.
Who?
Habib.
Habib? Habib's that rich guy, huh? Habib's that rich guy.
Still rich.
Islam Makhachev, Ilia Topuria, and the entire UFC lightweight division just dropped a bombshell that nobody saw coming. They're done, they're out, and Dana White is scrambling. That was Dana White, talking tough about fighter pay. But those words just came back to haunt him in the biggest way possible. You don't like the way we pay our fighters? Too fucking bad. Go start another MMA organization and figure it out yourself. We run a business. We've been very good at it.
You don't like the way we pay our fighters? Too fucking bad. Go start another MMA organization and you go fucking figure out how to do it. And you can pay them $10 million a fight, $30 million a fight, whatever you want to do. We run a business. We've been very good at it.
Events are being canceled. Fight cards are collapsing. And in a desperate move, Dana just fired back on Twitter with a message that's making everything worse. What just happened? How did we get here? And what does this mean for the future of the UFC? Let me break it down for you. This is going to get intense. November 2025. Fight cards are collapsing. Social media exploded with news that seemed impossible to believe. The entire UFC lightweight division, one of the deepest, most talented weight classes in all of combat sports, just walked away from the organization.
Well, right now in particular, there's probably less money because the fighters have to, there's no gate.
There's no live gate.
Yeah, there's no live gate. And that's an extreme amount of money. But there's also fighters that agreed to certain deals. They agreed to like an 8-fight deal at X amount per fight. And then they become more popular, and then they want to renegotiate their deal. Yeah. And the UFC is like, look, we're just trying to stay open.
Yep. But they're like
you can take it or you can leave it, but this is what it is.
We're not talking about 1 or 2 fighters having contract disputes. We're talking about Islam Makhachev, the pound-for-pound king, Ilia Topuria, the undefeated rising star Arman Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway, everyone. What the hell just happened? Here's what we know. According to multiple sources close to the situation, Dana White made a decision that fighters are calling the final straw. He implemented sweeping salary cuts across the lightweight division, cuts that some fighters say could make it financially impossible to continue competing.
Some people are wondering if you would ever consider moving away from the show win model and maybe doing like flat purses across the...
Listen, man, this business has worked just fine. The model isn't broken. You know, I love when people who have no idea what they're talking about and don't know anything about the business give input.
But this wasn't just about money. This was about respect. This was about years of frustration finally boiling over. And this was about fighters realizing that together, they had the power to make Dana White listen. The timeline is shocking. On November 12th, fighters began receiving updated contract terms showing reduced guaranteed purses and restructured bonus incentives. By November 14th, group chats among lightweight fighters were buzzing with the same message. We're not taking this.
When you come in here on a Tuesday night, you have to make me say, I have to have this guy or girl in the UFC. You can be as talented as they come. This is your one shot, your one night. This sheet is all I know about you. I don't read any of this before I walk in. When the fights happen, I see it. You show me tonight who you are. None of this means to me. This means nothing to me. It's great. You're obviously here. You got great records. You've done great things. Show me tonight. On Tuesdays, it's your night to show me who you are and what you got. Make me say yes.
For years, UFC fighters have been operating on razor-thin margins. Training camps for elite fighters can cost anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 when you factor in coaches, sparring partners, nutritionists, travel, and medical expenses. Now imagine you're a ranked lightweight fighter. You're getting paid maybe $80,000 to show up and $80,000 if you win. Sounds decent, right? But here's the reality. After taxes, management fees, gym costs, and that expensive training camp, You might walk away with $20,000 to $30,000 if you win, and if you lose, you could actually lose money fighting in the UFC.
The names we know, are they really getting money?
Izzy, $7 million. I think is what Izzy is making now.